Okay.
Rain falling across the water, mist is rising on the mountainside, leaves are blooming in the ash tree, robins are looking for something sweet. Where I'm sitting beneath the eaves, not one drop will find me. A little seedling is breaking through, persistent as the thought of you. Looking out into a sea of green, thinking on the years and miles that lie between. It seems so long ago, but you're still on my mind, you know. I go walking through the trees, the water dances over stones. The April morning is clean and new, but a breeze has brought the thought of you. Looking out into a sea of green, thinking on the years and miles that lie between. It seems so long ago, but you're still on my mind, you know. I sat down by the riverside, fearing I could drink it dry and still not be satisfied. The banks are full with all this rain. If they'll overflow, I can't say. The crickets calling in the firelight, and a long and gentle sleep tonight. Looking out into a sea of green, thinking on the years and miles that lie between. It seems so long ago, but you're still on my mind. Yeah, you're still on my mind.
about my angel, the one you never see, my everyday companion, living deep inside of me. She guides me through the trenches, she gets me out of every mess. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, she's my personal GPS. Well, she leads me on my journey, she leads me to the goal. She's always on the money, never leaves me in the cold. And every time I listen, I wind up being truly blessed. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, she's my personal GPS. I'm at the fork in the road, I gotta make a choice. So much going on, I don't heed her voice, so I'll make a wrong turn. I'm feeling lost and afraid, and I hear my angel calling, recalculate. Well, I gotta pay attention, 'cause it's powerful stuff. I gotta turn it on, and I gotta turn it up. 'Cause every time I do it, you know I'm guaranteed success. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, she's my personal GPS. Play it for me, Fuzz. You bad boy. Lost and lonely, I'm drifting in the dark. Will I ever find a harbor? I don't see it on the chart. With some saying no, but someone else is whispering yes, yes, yes. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, she's my personal GPS. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, crystal clear and never muddy. She's my Watson, she's my Tano, never tardy, always pronto. She's my Sherpa, she's my guide, never runs and never hides. Truly awesome, she's the best, she's my personal GPS. My personal GPS. She's my personal GPS. Yeah, she is. She's my personal GPS. Yes, yes.
The night is louder than it. Welcome, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Inside Live.
Yes, we are so happy to be here with you tonight. Thanks for watching on YouTube, on Facebook, and if you're listening on the radio, thanks for joining us. We are so excited to welcome our guest, Rogo, tonight. She's going to blow us away, but first, we'll start with a song.
All right, let's do that.
I know a dirt road in the late afternoon where the shade and the sunlight gather in pools. There are trees to the right, twisted and wild. To my left is the sea, like a glimmering eye. Well, I'm not the first one, and I won't be the last, who's come to this crossroads and breezed on past. With my destination, my only concern, one foot on the gas as the yellow light turns. And there's nothing like being alone at twilight, the ocean and I each approaching high tide, held aloft on the waves of my pride. I'm better off walking alone at twilight. My lover is steady, and he tells me be still and take a deep breath. He's just hoping I will, but my mind keeps on racing till I'm far out of sight, at the end of the road on the threshold of night. And there's nothing like being alone at twilight, the ocean and I each approaching high tide, held aloft on the waves of my pride. I'm better off walking alone at twilight. Well, the sun's gone down and the twilight is past. That magic hour, it never lasts. It's a long strand of pearls, one that I'll never own. And the answers I seek are the smallest of stones. So I work till I'm tired, then I lay down to rest, and that takes just a bit of this weight off my chest. But the years stretch before me, I admit that it's true, and this restless pursuit is what I'm called to do. And there's nothing like being alone at twilight, the ocean and I each approaching high tide, held aloft on the waves of my pride. I'm better off walking alone. Yeah, I hate to leave being alone at twilight. Thanks, y'all. Here's the chat, Freebo, so you can see it.
She's going to be talking about Reading and Hamburg and all my favorite places back in Pennsylvania.
I think a lot of folks are saying where they're from. We'd love to see where you guys are watching from, if you want to put that in the chat. Well,
by the way, before you do that, I see Hamburg on there. I'm from right near Pottsville, Mahanoy City, so I know where Hamburg is. We played them in football, and we beat them.
We're not talking about Germany, I'm guessing.
No, not Hamburg.
Okay.
But it's named after it, yeah.
Well,
Sorry.
You guys, wow, someone's watching from Japan. Amazing.
Oh, cool.
So you all may be familiar with our guest for this evening. Those of you who are fans of Norman's Rare Guitars, and maybe those who are watching on that channel tonight, you've seen so many videos of Rogo. She's an amazing blues guitarist, a songwriter, and a singer. She's just a captivating performer, and she's even been teaching me guitar lessons lately. She's a wonderful teacher and just a true artist, and I'm really excited to have her on tonight.
Me too. Yeah, Rogo. And I mean, sounds like we're related. We both are in the O family. But no, she's a wonderful guitar player, great singer, and let's welcome her right now, Alice. What do you think?
Better put on your headphones so you
I
can
better,
hear.
yeah, so I can hear her. Absolutely.
Hey, Rogo.
Hey guys.
Nice to see you on here on the
Good
internet.
to see you too. We're not too far away in distance, but
I know. You're like probably down the street.
I know.
We are both in LA, folks. All of us are in LA. We just thought we'd keep it real safe and hopefully sometime in the future we can actually meet up at Norm's and,
That would be so
and
nice.
do the show there in person. But in the meantime, this works.
Did you enjoy the rain today, Rogo?
I did. I honestly do. I love the sun, but I'm from the East Coast, so the rain is
Me too.
The rain is juicy. It's beautiful. I love to read a book.
Yeah.
Read a book and enjoy the rain.
It is. It's juicy. I love that. It just like brings out a whole different smell and a nostalgia for me. I think it's an East Coast thing. It must be. It makes me feel so cozy and creative, and I just love it.
Well, here in California, we certainly need it. It's beautiful every day, and Alice finally figured that out, and she's an East Coast girl too. Been out here about a year, and every day she said, "Freebo, it's always the same." I said, "Yeah, it's really nice, isn't it?"
You've been out here for a few years, right, Rogo?
About 5 years.
5 years.
4.
From where originally did you say?
I grew up majorly in like Connecticut, New York area, and then I moved to Boston.
How long were you in Boston?
5 years.
Did you go to school there?
She did.
Yeah, I went to Berkeley.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you must know some music if you went
You
to
must
Berkeley.
be good or something.
Yeah, I was actually a professional saxophone player before I was anything else. So I got into Berkeley on a saxophone scholarship.
Are you kidding?
Huh?
Yeah, but I only play clarinet now out of that. So
Oh my gosh! Another.
You're a
Our
clarinet
guest
player.
a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago, Amy Spees, a wonderful singer, songwriter, more in the folk world. She was like classically trained clarinetist
Yeah.
also, and I had a moment with the bass clarinet in middle school. I was terrible though. It was not my instrument.
I had a little bassoon moment.
Oh, nice. Yeah, see those are the cool ones.
Well, now
Well,
Yeah.
Well, since you must be really good, why don't you show us? Why don't you play something for us? I'm looking forward to this.
Sure.
Yeah,
All right,
start us off.
tonight I'm going to be playing some songs on my national resophonic guitar.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Very much. I'm a dealer for this company, and I just love playing them. So I'm going to play a little Muddy Waters tune for you here.
Awesome.
Well, I rolled and I tumbled, I cried a whole night long. Well, I rolled and I tumbled, I cried a whole night long. Woke up this morning, something going on wrong. I told my baby before I left this town. I told my baby before I left this town. Ain't nobody gonna tear my barrel house down. That's right. The river was whiskey, I was a diving duck. If the river was whiskey, I was a diving duck. I'd crawl to the bottom, babe, and Lord, I'll never come up. That's right. That's I could have had religion, I had this battle thing instead. I could have had religion, I had this battle thing instead. All this whiskey and women, they would not let me pray. I rolled and I tumbled, I cried a whole night long. I rolled and I tumbled, I cried a whole night long. Woke up this morning, something going on wrong. Woke up this morning, something going on wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Killer.
Oh, that's great.
Love it,
Wow.
Rogo.
Man, I'll tell you, that takes me back. I played that song with Bonnie Raitt back in the early '70s when we were a duo. I mean, just her and me, and boy, I really wanted to play with you because you're
No,
killing
one
it.
day. Ugh, that'd be so nice.
Oh,
I'm
it'd
also
be
looking
nice.
forward to like live applause, like
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
like the energy in the room. Like
It's
I
a
think
whole
that's what I
different
miss
thing.
most,
Did
know?
you learn to play that style at Berkeley? Did you pick it up on your own? Because it's a particular style of blues.
It is. So I was learning saxophone at Berkeley, and there was a grant that came in to Berkeley through a private funder that says, "I'll give you this money if you know." Paul Rochelle and Woody Mann, two amazing country blues players, and Annie Raines, a harp player,
Mm-hmm.
can teach
Mm-hmm.
at Berklee College of Music. And Berkeley was like, okay. So there was these three people, wonderful people who are now my mentors, came in, and there was like a posting on the American Roots like board or whatever saying like, you know, country blues, Delta blues lessons. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
sign me up. I mean, I play guitar like on the side just for fun. Like sign me up. This looks awesome. And I went to each of their classes, and I just became like a disciple of them. Like I followed them around everywhere, and I just took their classes every single week. And they kind of took me under their wing, and I came over to their houses for dinner, and they took me on tour, and it just is like, yeah, but they taught me, especially Paul Rochelle has taught me so much about this instrument and how to play the slide and how to feel it. So I learned at Berkeley, but my main education at Berkeley was, you know, like theory and jazz and composition and all that stuff. But you know, Paul and Annie and Woody were just my mentors that basically kept me in school, because if I didn't find them, you know, college is a music school is a challenging place.
Yeah, it almost sounds like they gave you the heart and soul part of it, and
Right.
you found that in playing this style of music on the guitar.
Totally.
And did you not have that feeling so much about your other instruments? Did this hit you in a different way?
It hit me in a different way. Like this is what I'm born to do. I mean, I love jazz music and classical music. I grew up like playing that on bassoon and on saxophone and stuff, but and I've always felt connected to that. But something about the blues, and especially the guitar, and especially the slide guitar, is just, it's my destiny. I know it sounds so cheesy, but like that, I'm the happiest when I'm playing slide guitar.
I just have to say, like, I've been taking lessons with you, Rogo, and she just has this way of, when our first lesson, you were like, well, I teach intuitively, and I was kind of like, oh, what does that mean? And I just, you've referred a lot to that sense that you really have to feel what you're doing, and you've encouraged me to like move around more in my body and just kind of like
I make
get
my
more.
students uncomfortable sometimes.
I know, and I'm like, I'm so like stiff. I'm like such like, I'm just like, what do you mean moving around?
Yeah, 'cause, I mean,
stand
if
here,
you're
you know,
playing
but
your
it's
if you're playing your instrument, I'm not saying you do this, but like this, and you could be playing it perfectly, but like,
Yeah.
are you playing from like the core of your existence? You know, like,
well, and totally.
blockages that we have in our like emotions that we can't access those places. Not, I can't.
Right.
You can learn thousands of scales, but are you going to sound soulful? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of the
So
difference
true.
between what I call, academia, and learning the stuff, in school, and then learning the school of hard knocks, going out on the road and playing, where there is an audience. And it's not like you can't learn to feel in school, but there's nothing like doing it in person where you're living the music and you're making a commitment. There's something about being on the road. There's something about all the hard knocks that go along with it that really, because that becomes your salvation. And by the time you finally get on stage and you're playing, it's like, and there's a certain emotion like you're talking about that does come out at that time, don't you think?
Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't take my experience at Berkeley back for the world. Like I met so many amazing people. I learned so many skills, but the times on the road, whether it's locally or internationally, like, oh my goodness, like that just trained me as a human being. And of course, with life getting older comes heartbreak and this and that. So just letting life kind of just like, you're on the ride, right? And you just like flow with it with your instrument, you know?
Yeah. And of course that finds its way as a songwriter, that finds its way in your song. You were a songwriter as well, right?
Oh yeah, I've been a songwriter since before I could play an instrument. And that's why I started to play guitar when I was 14, is because I've been writing songs since I was 5, 6. So, I mean, I wrote a song about everything, you know, the grass or that I was hungry or my dog or whatever.
I'm the same way,
just
Sarah.
like Alice. Yeah.
That's exactly. I've even shared some with Freebo. I have tapes, you know, that my parents took of me just singing, you know, not made up whatever about my stuffed animals and like tea party we're having, you know, like that. That's just always how I communicated with, you know, I think that's just in you. But it's a whole other thing to really to like you said, go on the road and experience it. And really, I look back at videos of myself performing when I was a teenager, just barely starting to perform. And I literally was standing there just still, like only moving my hands. And it's really been a process of just, you sink into your body and like, you know, I'm not quite there with the guitar, but I feel with my voice and singing. And that's a whole other instrument that like you do have to get out of your head or it's not going to come out the way there's no feeling. There's not as much feeling in it if you're thinking like, oh, I got to hit that note or this is the exact riff I'm going to do or, you know,
Well, and a couple people in the chat are talking about it. It really is where you go from your head to your heart, which to me is so much about just life in general and communication. At what point, you know, are you talking from your head? At what point are you sinking into your body and really feeling the emotion and communicating that? And I think in any kind of art, that's really where it's at. Alice and I talk about that all the time, Rogo, you know, where you can hear somebody, you know, phoning it in and playing all the right notes or singing the right notes and going for the riffs, but you can tell that they're not really quite feeling it. You know, it's real subtle, but to me, it's everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Freebo, you want to...
Well, yeah.
Do you want to sink into your music and play?
Well, let me follow that through, and I'd love to hear one of the original songs.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow up your blues thing with a bluesy type of thing. This is a song that I heard Lowell George play many times, you know, and fortunately really got to know him and work with him from Little Feet, and it's a very cool song. This is my arrangement of his very bizarre song, "Sailing Shoes." Lady in a turban and a cocaine tree, says she can do the dance so rhythmically. Well, I got a line. If you got a pole, I'm gonna meet you down at the fishing hole. Won't you put on your sailing shoes? Put on your sailing shoes. Everyone will start to cheer when you put on your sailing shoes. Jedediah,
he got a dime. He catch more fish every time. Well, I got a line. If you got a pole, I'm gonna meet you down at the fishing hole. Won't you put on your sailing shoes? Put on your sailing shoes. Everyone will start to cheer when you put on your sailing shoes. Doctor, doctor, I feel so bad,
So bad.
so bad. You know, Doc, this could be the worst day I have ever had. He said, have you this misery for a very long time? I guess I'm gonna have to lay it on the line. Won't you put on your sailing shoes? Put on your sailing shoes. Everyone will start to cheer when you put on your sailing shoes. One more time. Won't you put on your sailing shoes? Put on your sailing shoes. Everyone will start to cheer when you put on your sailing shoes.
Freebo, I love that rhythm change. I don't know, what do you call that?
Well, it's the kind of thing where you go from straight to shuffle and everything in between. Know what I'm talking about, Rogo?
It's that play with time, you know?
Yeah, we messing
That's
with
what I
time.
mean, I love about like blues and funk and even jazz and stuff. Like, you know, it's like this push and pull that can, you know, you play with the beat, you know, you play with the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
Or as we were saying before, you feel it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
feel it.
I'd love to hear another song.
Yeah,
you
me
know,
too.
Maybe then get into
Yeah,
some more
yeah.
conversation. But
Sure.
please.
I'll play an original song.
Oh, I want to mention before you start, we did have a few requests from the chat for songs you don't, you know, just to consider.
Okay.
There was a request for Wild Woman, Love and Be Loved, and Here Goes Nothing. Those were three that came in. I'm not, I don't know whether that's something you want to do or just think
maybe
about it.
right now I don't have the appropriate guitar on me, but I have my other guitars over here, so maybe
No pressure.
Maybe yes.
Okay.
And for those of you watching too, I go live on my Facebook page and, you know, my Instagram a lot too. So feel free to always hop on there and I'll play music to you all day. Maybe not all day, but
Yeah, sounds good.
but thanks for watching, everyone. And I thank you so much for having me, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Pleasure. Absolutely.
Okay, so this song in essence is about 2020. Really, the concept of it is like not making it out alive, but realizing that there are parts of you that need to die, and in fact, many parts of ourselves that we've realized kind of need to die. Whether it's, dreams that weren't really on a foundation of our own truth, or just parts of ourselves that didn't really serve us. So this song is called Some Things Are Meant to Die. Bring my body up over the hill, a shovel and spade, my grave to fill. One hard year didn't make it out alive. Maybe some things are meant to die. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I will rise because I must, but first I give it all, and I don't ask why. Or maybe some things are meant to die. Crucified by the devil's fire, I held on too long, oh Lord, I'm getting tired. I'm tired of living all these little lies. Or maybe some things are meant to die. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Well, I will rise because I must, but first I give it all, and I don't ask why. Or maybe some things are meant to die. Bring my body up over the hill, a shovel and spade, my grave to fill. I choose to live, Lord, I choose to fly. But first thing, maybe some things are meant to die. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Well, I will rise because I must, but first I give it all, and I don't ask why. Or maybe some things are meant to die. Or maybe some things are meant to die. Or maybe some things are meant to die.
Kill
Yeah,
it.
Rogo, nice. Hey, everything's meant to die.
Right.
Nothing's forever.
That's a great message.
Yeah, really. Yeah, it's a great example of how you can just combine, a particular style, whether it be blues or country or folk or reggae, and you, as a songwriter, you put your own lyrics to it, and you say, okay, what's the best musical form that will best support, be what I call an emotional layer, an emotional cushion for the lyrics, and that's a perfect example of, to me, of you having chose exactly the right genre for those lyrics.
Yeah. Thank
How
you.
did you first start playing the National? And I guess a more like broad guitar question. I'm so curious what your history is with Norman's Rare Guitars and how you started working there. And
It's actually
is your connection with the National at all related to Norms, or is that just totally separate?
No, it's totally separate.
Okay.
They're both great stories. I mean, the first question is because my mentor, Paul Rochelle, he plays National. So I was just like, what is that thing? What is
Yeah.
that spaceship in your hand, good sir?
Yeah.
And he was so generous. Like he's an artist for National as well. So he let me borrow one of his like Nationals. And I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, just be careful with it. I'm like a freshman in like college, and I have this but because of that, I just fell in love with it, and I just started playing it. And when I moved out to California, I got one of my own. It's a beautiful blue, like powder blue National. And anyway, yeah, so that's how I got started kind of with National. And then I just forged a relationship with them as I was just, I don't know, playing their guitars a lot.
Yeah. It's
But
great.
when I moved out to California, I was living in my car at the time. I mean, just kind of, vagabonding around and just, moved up from San Diego and all that stuff. And I walk into Norm's and, I'm very respectful, right? It's like all these crazy nice guitars. And I'm just like, hello to like Norm. I was like, may I try this? May I try this? And he's like, yeah. It's
You
like,
could try anything.
you can try anything. I'm like, okay, I take it. And I start playing it, and he's like, hey, you're really good. Like, play me a song or whatever. And I play him a song, and he's like, hey, Jen,
yeah.
get out here. And then she brings
the
out
camera.
the camera, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, sure, I love to perform, like whatever. So I did some videos with them, and I came in like a month later or something, and I did another video with them, and then I was just like kind of humbly, I was like, hey, if you ever need anybody to like mop your floors or whatever, like I just moved to Los Angeles and like, looking for work, but and he's like, well, yeah, come in next week and you can fold some shirts or whatever. You can tell it was totally like a charity, like, we like you, just like come in, help us out for the day, clean the store, whatever. And I came in and I cleaned the store and I made myself super useful, over useful. And, I ended up being hired so from there, and they're like family. Norman is like my uncle, and Jen is like my cousin, and it's just Lemo is like my annoying younger brother. No, she's okay. I love Lemo. I love them all. They're great. I really do.
It's such a great community in there, and I felt so lucky to connect with you guys too. And Freebo brought me in a few years ago, and I had no idea about just their following on YouTube and the whole thing with the videos, and similar thing happened, and Freebo was like, oh, we'll just play Norma's song, and Jen, Jen, come over here, and so we did that whole thing, and like 3 days later, there's like 70,000 views. And I, at the time, had, never, like, that was way out of what I was used to on that platform by far. So I was like,
the thing I love about Norman as a person in particular, like he's very, when he likes somebody and something, he will just be like the strongest advocate. I mean, do you know how many times I've heard about Freebo and Alice before I met you guys? Oh, bro, you got to meet Freebo and Alice. You got to meet Freebo and Alice. And he just goes on and on about.
Do you know how many times we heard about you? Also,
I'm sure,
same.
That's
I love it.
Yeah, it's nice.
And I just.
It is.
He's a wonderful, giving.
Well, and what's really cool about it is that it comes from a really reliable source. I mean, Norm knows his stuff. I mean, he really knows blues, rhythm and blues. I mean, he's old school, but he knows it all. He plays it. He plays great B3, and he just really knows the genre. So I know personally, I take that. He knows me as my bass playing, but when he really fell in love with my songwriting, I was so honored. And when I introduced him to Alice, he said, oh, this is Alice Howe, Freebo's new discovery.
Oh, God, and I was like...
and she just died. And then he was immediately taken with her. But yeah.
No,
and for anybody who
such a
doesn't know
champion.
it's called Norman's Rare Guitars. It's in Tarzana. And really, I mean, not now, but when COVID is over, you just walk in there. It's a great place to hang and play any guitar. And you never know who's going to walk in there, right?
Amazing inventory of vintage instruments, and some of those price tags, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, this looks nice. Oh, I'm not going to touch that.
We do have very affordable options. Maybe not $100 affordable, but it's a big range. But yes, we do have, very, 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 very.
Well,
very
it's.
Oh yeah. Hey, I just bought a brand new electric baritone guitar, a Fender Squier.
Very cool.
The price was really nice, and Norm gave me a wonderful deal, and I walked out with it. And in fact, I'll be playing it on my birthday show on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Here, we'll talk more about that later, but very happy with it. I also bought another guitar there. I bought an Eric Clapton model Martin guitar. And no, it's wonderful. All because they just allowed to play anything. I went, wow, this is really cool, and fell in love with it.
I get you.
That's the best way.
Nothing like a vintage guitar.
I know.
Yeah.
I've never owned a vintage guitar. I dream of having a 00018 Martin. Maybe I'll find one at Norm's one
Do they
day.
have any at Norm's? Do you know?
I'm
Do you
sorry, a
happen to
double
know?
O.
Oh, yeah.
I mean like the little
Oh,
one.
oh, double O.
The littler one.
Yeah, I mean, we get this is the thing. There's new guitars in like weekly, in and out.
By new,
And
you
just-
mean new old. but
New old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
so.
I love that.
Alice, why don't you play
Yeah.
us a song?
Well,
Maybe stay in the blues.
I'll try to keep up with you guys. I'm gonna keep taking my lessons from Rogo, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep working on my blues. But this is kind of my version of a little country blues pick and pattern, kind of my adaptation. I think it started with my learning some Mississippi John Hurt. That's basically what I had a great teacher when I was like just starting out, when I was like 12 or 13, and he made me learn all those Mississippi John Hurt tunes, and that is such a good place to start. So before I play this song, I just want to mention a couple housekeeping items.
Housekeeping. Housekeeping. No thanks. Don't need room service today.
Yeah, no, not that kind.
That's different.
If you are enjoying the show, a couple things. If you're watching on Facebook, we would love if you would hit the share button. Please help more people find it. That really helps us a lot. Just takes a second to do. And we, as always, are accepting your donations for tonight's show. If you're enjoying the show and you are able to send us $5, $10, $15, whatever you can afford, it really helps us. We're going to be not only splitting the money between the three artists tonight, but we are also, again, we've chosen a new charity for the month of March, and I was really excited to notice a couple things. One, it's Women's History Month. Two, we have all female guests on Inside Live this month, which I'm just thrilled about. So we have 5 Wednesdays in March and 5 amazing female artists. And so in honor of that, I thought it would be really cool to have our charity this month be Planned Parenthood. So as I'm sure you know, Planned Parenthood provides really essential women's health services, but really just healthcare for all kinds of people, not only women. And it's not just about reproductive health. It's really essential healthcare for all kinds of people for all kinds of reasons. And, you know, my mom is a pediatrician and worked a lot with them when I was growing up. And it's something that's really important to me. So I'm excited that we're donating to them this month.
Yeah, great organization.
Yes.
Should we also, while you're at it, should we tell them about the Cordial giveaway and
maybe
have
we'll
them
do
choose
that
a number?
too. We have chosen a number for our weekly Cordial Cables giveaway. Do you want to tell them about?
Well, actually, Rogo chose the number, so if
Yes,
you want to
that's
try
true.
and get inside Rogo's head, think the way she does, you might get close to the number. But yeah, we're sponsored by Cordial Cables, cords, guitar cords, mic cords. They're really wonderful. You've heard me say this a bunch of times, those of you who watch the show, but they're just about all copper, little to no resistance. They have
99.99999%.
great
copper.
great sound. I mean, which is really important because, and also they have a lifetime guarantee, which to me is the most important thing. I can't tell you how many cables I've gone through in my life. But these are wonderful. Something goes wrong with it, you just send it back, and they'll give you a new one. So we have a giveaway. You get one Rogo, your choice of guitar or a mic cable,
And a T-shirt.
and a
Cordial
T-shirt,
T-shirt.
really nice T-shirt. And so for you out there in the audience, if you would like a chance to pick one up, just guess a number, put it in
Between
on
1
the
and
chat.
100.
That's right. And Brandon will be watching, right?
Brandon is
Brandon
watching
knows
the
the
numbers.
number. It's
Oh, you know what, Sam? You can guess. Go for it. Go for it. The only people who cannot guess, I'm so sorry, are people who are outside of the United States. We can only ship within the U.S. at this time. So I
boy, these
apologize
people
for
are on
that.
it. Numbers are coming in like crazy already. I'm telling you.
Oh, Harriet, thank you for the reminder. I've been a little bit remiss. Would you, Harriet, send me another note through my website, or just write to Alice at alicehowe.com, and I will be sure to get right back to you. I apologize. My bad. I swear the giveaway is real, Harriet.
Yeah,
This is not just like...
Not just a come on. We're just
Okay. Okay.
in the key of F sharp.
Look, I like F sharp.
I'm
okay?
fine with it. I can play an F sharp or G flat.
traveling soul with a brand new set of wheels. They ask me how I do it. I said I like the way it feels. This is the life I chose, seeking truth along this road. Well, it's easy to be running, but so hard to stay behind. You have to keep in motion to ease that worried mind. But the more I see, the more I fear just what I'll find. It's the same old two-lane highway and the same old moon above, a world of contradictions and the longing to be loved. I am a traveling soul, seeking truth along this road. Well, the towns that pass my windows, they all start to look the same, overrun by corporate greed, disguised as household names. I am a traveling soul, seeking truth along this road. It's a bitter pill to swallow. The country that you love has a history of violence that is written out in blood. I am a traveling soul, seeking truth along this road. It's the same old two-lane highway and the same old moon above. I'm a world of contradictions, but I'm longing to be loved. I am a traveling soul, seeking truth along this road. I could drive all night on this brand new set of wheels. You ask me how I do it. I said I like the way it feels. This is the life I chose, seeking truth along this road. Seeking truth along this road. I could drive all night, yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody.
Oh my goodness. Is that one of your songs? Is that one of your songs?
Oh, wait. Say that again.
Is that one of your songs?
It is, yeah.
I love that. I love your songwriting, your voice, your picking, and I love like the use of dynamics and
Thank
so
you.
great, both of you.
Thanks, Sarah. I'm really glad that I got a chance to play that with you here because
So beautiful.
Thank you.
And I will
I
say,
wanted you to hear that one.
I have like a secret burning love for the fretless bass. For everybody to know that. I love the fretless bass
Really?
so much. I think it's so sweet, and yeah, I really do. Both of you together are just it's just so great.
Thank you.
you.
I'm
Thank
sure
you.
he'd be happy to play on any session that you might have in the future. I'm
Oh,
just putting that
absolutely.
out there on your behalf.
Yeah, if you record something, it's just I can fly in a part or come to where you're recording, and again, hopefully we'll do this again, and we can be in the same room, and you can play along with us, and we can play.
I was
sing
hearing
with
you playing some slide on
I
that.
know,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
too, and the last song you guys played too, but it all in good time. I actually live in a house with a recording studio, so
Oh, great.
nice.
Whenever you feel comfortable, come on over and let's
that
write
sounds.
something together.
That'd be
Ooh,
great.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
I'll get my shots and mask up.
Yeah, get your shots, and then we'll do that.
I'm on my way. I'm almost there.
Oh, that's great. Well, I guess this is turning out to be a blues show, which is great, and
A lot of blues,
I love it.
yeah.
I'm really inspired by your playing, Rogo. I'm so glad that I took the leap to start taking lessons from you, and it's been really good for me to have that accountability. And I love. It's really inspiring for me to see a woman my age just killing it on the guitar. It's, another guest we had. Maybe Rory Block. Do you know Rory?
Yeah, I love Rory.
Are you guys like, do you know her personally?
No, I
just
don't
feel
know
like
her personally, but
okay.
I would love to.
Well, we should introduce you. But someone had asked if you guys knew each other, and I was thinking of her when you were playing. There's just that thread of like strong women guitar players, just like
In fact,
blues is what really made blues famous in a way in the
Yeah.
back in the day when the recording sessions kind of started out. There was Memphis Minnie, there was Bessie Smith, Big Mama
Oh, yeah.
Thornton. They were the queens of the blues. Like they really were pioneers for this music. And I don't even claim to be a blues musician. I mean, obviously I play the blues, but like I don't know. I can't hold a candle to those guys, but still, it's just the essence of the blues in itself, and the slide guitar, and just paying homage to that beautiful, wonderful music is such a blessing and a privilege, and I don't take it lightly. I really revere the players and this music. It's just timeless.
well, if you get a chance, we have all of our shows archived on Norman's Rare Guitars YouTube channel.
watch some of the one with Rory.
You
She
might
was
know
great.
how to find that, Rogo. And one of our early shows, maybe our fourth or fifth show, actually is Rory Block, and it's really cool because not only her playing and her singing, but she talks about those early days in the village and the people that she learned from, and where she goes and the respect that she has for all that. And as you know, I having played with Bonnie in the early '70s, Bonnie was really one of the first, at least white women, to play the blues and really play it authentically, because she learned it from the guys from Mississippi, Fred McDowell and Muddy and Arthur Crudup and so many people. And so it's really nice to see the generations go on,
Yeah, and I was gonna
and follow
say,
through with that.
I love that the tradition is so alive for you, and you're learning of like having mentors, because that's always been something that's been really important to me. And I feel like Freebo's been a mentor, and other artists have been in my life, and like that's my favorite way to learn. I don't feel like I need to figure it all out myself.
No,
like
none
I
of us
want
do.
that connection to what came before, because it's so real.
Totally. And I mean, that's why I started this platform that I teach off of. It's more than just kind of one-off lessons. It's set up in a way where I can work with you, constantly. And because I believe in mentorship, getting to know each other and seeing where kind of the holes are in like even your psyche, like why are there blockages around getting to work, or am I avoiding this or that? So even not guitar based things, like it's important to
Yeah.
have a mentor to kind of call you out on
Yeah.
things. So
That's true.
yeah, I agree. I wouldn't be where I am without my mentors. I really wouldn't. I'm so grateful, so blessed.
Well, how do people find you if they want
Yeah.
to take some lessons from you?
Good call.
How
Yeah.
do they get a hold of you?
Thanks. Yeah, no, I have slots open for that. I think the best hub for everything is rogothewild.com. I'm sure it'll be
The
linked.
Wild,
Rogo the
WILD.
Wild, yeah. W
Yeah,
I L.
Brandon's he's putting
Yeah.
the link in the chat,
and-
but that's
and
great to say it
There's
too.
like a lessons tab, there's a contact page, but you can find me on the other links that are going to be listed, like Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that too. But the website's a good place to start because and then I also have, similar to Alice, the like a Patreon, but I don't do mine through Patreon. I do mine through my own website. It's a subscription based membership. It's only $5 a month, and you get exclusive music and videos, whether they're lesson videos or performance videos. Like tomorrow, I'm teaching a slide little masterclass discussion Q&A on Zoom, which is open for the public for a cost, but it's free for my subscribers. So
Oh,
pay
great.
$15 or pay $5. you know. So it's just,
Cool.
you know, as you know, Alice and Freebo, like
Yeah.
we have to be creative in this world. Like, how do we
Yeah.
make it as independent artists? Like, how do we support ourselves and not have to,
Yeah.
you know, sell our souls to at the crossroads, right? At the
Yes,
record
right.
labels, and you know, let's keep the integrity of good music alive, and support, you know, artists that you love by signing up for their Patreons or subscribes or take lessons from them. Like that's really the way to keep, especially right now when there's no shows, like the way to keep
Yeah.
music
Right.
alive.
Well,
Really well
and
said,
very well said. And I'll add to that it's not just a question of selling your soul by, as we say, quote, getting a day job. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, obviously, you know, millions of people, but when we've chosen the road less traveled, and when you do that, and I've gone through this at when I was in my early 20s, when I was trying to make a decision and trying to do the music thing and have a job, and it was really hard to find the time, to find the energy and the focus to really, you know, to really focus on the music. Because if you want to do anything 100%, you have to be dedicated and committed. And so for us in this world and this time, we need to be able to spend 100% of the time on
And
creating
there's
the music.
so much more work.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
That's done that people don't even realize.
I
Like,
know.
that
Oh,
much
you
work is.
kidding?
I mean, I've talked to Alice about it. Like, we
Oh,
know
yeah.
there is so much work to be done,
Yeah.
even within social media corners. And like,
Mm-hmm.
I run a full-on business. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's a full-time job that never ends. It never
It's
clocks
a
out.
full-time job.
You have
Totally.
to.
Never clocks
Okay,
out.
I'm done at 6 p.m. I'm gonna
No.
get to actually
It's-
write songs and drink a glass of wine. Like,
It's so true.
there's always something to be done. People don't
It's-
realize how much work it takes, and I'm
Yeah.
happy to do it because we love it. But
Yeah.
my
Oh, we do. No, and as you
So
said,
true.
you know, you're born to do this. Alice was born to do it. I was born to do it. I didn't know at the time I was born to do it, but you know, I figured this is who I am. It's supposed to be. So it really is important, and that's why we do ask for this kind of support. It's not charity. And again, in this time of COVID, it's difficult to go out on the road and make the living. So for those of you who do support us, we really, really appreciate
really
that,
do.
the Patreon.
Yeah.
And anyway, and just to have you there, I mean, you know, we'd be doing this in our living room by ourselves, but it wouldn't be quite the same.
There are over 100 people watching, by the way, Sarah. So
Oh,
we've
that's
got a
great.
nice little audience here.
Thank you,
and
everybody.
We're glad you guys are here.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, and someone was actually, our friend Vincent, who watches every week, he has already looked you up, and he's telling people in the chat that your school is the Artist Alchemy School. And he's
oh,
like,
that's so
he's-
nice.
he's
I
all
Mm.
over it.
Thank you. That's really, like, you know, money is not always the answer with how to help an artist. If you have money, buy this or buy that, CDs, lessons. But if you just share and spread
Yes.
the word and just talk us up, that helps us so much. So
Yeah.
it's not just money, you know, it's your energy, and it's how you can really support artists like us, you know.
It's so true because you know it's interesting because I think people see, like, on TV, for example. I just remember after the inauguration, there was like that big concert on TV that they broadcast, and it was like you see like those huge stars, you know, doing stuff, and that's just such a different reality than for most of us, like on the ground. And it's interesting having to kind of, I feel like that divide has gotten bigger just between, like, or maybe it always was that way, but it seems like there's sort of the art and music that you see like broadcast, you know, on the billboards on Sunset Boulevard, and then there's like, you know,
A huge gap in
those
between
of us like,
them and
you know, making it work every day. And I just think it's good to talk about like the reality of that difference, that like, you know,
Well,
and like there's the whole thing that we've talked about with labels and having like the big time record contract, and like, what does that mean? And is it worth it? And what do you get for it? And what do you give up? And your control over yourself and your career versus like totally having control and not making all that much money. Like, it's an interesting,
well, especially in these
dilemma.
days where everybody wants music for free. I mean, we've watched in the last 10, 20 years where with downloads where people started to pay for downloads, and they said, well, why can't I get it for free? And look, everybody wants something for free, but then how do we make a living when we have nothing to sell? So now people aren't buying CDs either, or records. So it's a particularly challenging time. And don't get us
We're
wrong.
not complaining.
We're not complaining. Again, we're just kind of showing you the other side of that
The
deal.
business.
Yeah,
And we're not about to quit, right?
No.
I mean, we love what we do.
We can't
So.
because it's
No.
just who we are.
We can't.
I think it's just important to just remember that even pretty well-known artists signed to major labels are not making barely any money. I mean, maybe like the Taylor Swift levels,
Right.
Oh, of
whatever,
course.
or even Bonnie Raitt or whatever, like that level, because there's commercialism within it. But just like taking off that illusion a little bit and like just realizing that like even famous artists like go bankrupt, like actually bankrupt. So
That's actually true.
My friend John Callahan just said, ask a plumber if they'll work for free. Thanks, John. It's true.
I like that, John.
I don't
Thank
think
you.
it's going to happen.
Yeah. It's just no, it's a part of our reality. It is our reality. But like I said, I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
totally, we
My
love it.
family. Yeah, I mean, my family still is like, wait, what exactly do you spend your time doing? Like my mom, when I was living with my mom back in Boston a couple of years ago, I was always up on the third floor where my space was, and I'd be up there all day just like doing my stuff and practicing and working on my computer, and and she'd be like, what are you doing up there? It's like, just trying to make it happen.
Well, it's interesting that our performance, as you said, Rogo, really is just the tip of the iceberg. It's all the stuff we have to do to get there, to write the song, do all the promotion, to and then take care of everything like everybody else does. Wash the dishes, and do all of the stuff everybody does. So by the time you get there, it's anyway. How about some more music, Rogo? Could you play us some more music?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. And I'm seeing in the chat too. Somebody's asking about alternate tunings, and I usually play alternate tunings. I play a lot in open G and open D. This is open D right now. And I find them quite actually liberating, because you're not trapped in the box of your mind when you're playing an open tuning, because it's not what you normally know.
Right.
And it's great with the slide too. I just love it. I love exploring with the guitar. And sometimes, when you get off the airplane and you tune your guitar back up, but you tune it to something random, and then you like write a song in that tuning. And there's just so much to explore. I call it 6 strings in the universe is the guitar. So yeah. Okay, so this next song is an original song. It's an old song. And a funny story about this song. So I wrote the song and love performing it. And then I was living in an Airstream at an RV park in Los Angeles, and I was skateboarding down the main drag there. And then I was like, is that Jeff Goldblum? And he was just like standing in the park with his like camera crew. And I was like, okay. And he was like filming something, doing something. And I was like kind of standing back, and then skated back to my place. And I was like, I gotta go say hi. And I skated up to him, and I handed him my business card. I was like, if you ever need music for anything that you're doing, or like whatever, like you let me know. Because I heard that he's a musician. Like he's a great piano player.
Mm-hmm. He is.
And he's like, what's your name? Beautiful? Like you're so, and he's like, I'm like, yeah, I'm a musician. And he's like, well, sing me something. I don't like guitar or anything. So I just started snapping my fingers and singing him. And he starts like singing along, and the camera crew like, has it all. So I ended up on Disney Plus. On Jeff Goldblum's show.
When?
The World According to Jeff Goldblum, the RV segment. It's a really great show, actually. It's about, he does different segments, kind of like he's like Anthony Bourdain, but like very much quirkier.
Oh my gosh,
and
I love
this
it.
segment that I was in was about RVs, like living in an RV life. So
Only in LA would that
I know,
happen.
That's
right?
right.
Love
Only
that.
in LA.
maybe you can catch me on that. It's a great
That's
show,
great.
actually.
Yeah,
But anyway,
check
this
it
is
out.
the song, the little snippet of the song I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote this when I moved to California. I love Bob Dylan, as you guys probably love Bob Dylan. And he has a song in a line, he says, "Going where the weather suits my clothes." Mm-hmm. And I was like, I love that line. I love it. So I wrote a song called "Going Where the Weather Suits My Soul," which is California.
Cool.
chest to ditch New York and head out west. I know I gotta hit the road, going where the weather suits my soul. I said, ooh, California, I'm coming home. Yeah, make it be known, make it be known. Going where the weather suits my soul. Give me surf, give me sand, give me boys who take my hand and dance, who wanna rock and roll. Going where the weather suits my soul. I said, ooh, California, I'm coming home. Yeah, make it be known, make it be known. Going where the weather suits my soul. That's right. I said, ooh, California, I'm coming home. Yeah, make it be known, make it be known. Going where the weather suits my soul. One more time. Ooh, California, I'm coming home. Yeah, make it be known, make it be known. Going where the weather suits my soul. Going where the weather suits my soul. Going where the weather suits my soul.
Yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. I was grooving with you. That
Yeah.
was great.
That old
just
East
love-
Coast thing when you come to California, Southern California, you go,
You know, and Sarah, I thought that you were from here. Like, you have such a California vibe to me.
Everybody
Yeah,
says that.
well,
Yes, I know.
like California.
Everybody thinks that. Everybody thinks that. It's funny because like I seem California in a lot of ways, but I'm also, when you get to know me as a person, I am so East Coast.
Right.
And,
Like-
and there is a big difference, isn't
Right.
there?
There is a big difference. Like, shake my hand and you'll feel it.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's so true.
East Coast. But you know, I'm also so like how I love to surf and I have blonde hair and you know, I'm free spirited and so you know, in a lot of ways I'm so California and then in a lot of ways I'm East Coast. So it's cool. But as a
Like-
musician, I feel like a lot of times as an artist, like you're kind of this like vagabond spirit, like you're mysterious. Like where exactly are you from? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, as a
it's
musician,
true.
I mean, we're really from all over. We travel a lot, and there's just something about it. It's very
But there's something
cosmopolitan.
about this part of the country that drew me too. Like, I grew up in the Boston area, and I hadn't even ever been out to LA until I met Freebo at a conference actually in Stamford, Connecticut, and he invited me to come out here to work with him on my last record, which is the first time I ever had a reason to come here. And I just remember being on the plane and getting ready to land at LAX, and I just had this feeling like, I don't know, like I'm supposed to be here feeling. And maybe it's just the nostalgia and the love of all the Southern California artists that I grew up listening to, and Jackson Browne, as we've talked about, and like that sound and those songwriters and Joni and the Laurel Canyon thing. And I think I just wanted it to be like 1972 when I arrived, and you know, it's not, but it's still really cool. It's just, yeah.
I mean, after the Boston winters, like, whew, this
Yeah.
place
Oh,
feels
yeah.
like paradise.
It does. It does. I know. I talked to my mom on the phone and she's like, don't even tell me about it. I don't even want to know. She's like, it's 10 degrees. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
And icy.
And meanwhile, I'm like, I'm cold right
I
now.
know.
Like,
I know. Sorry, everybody. We're just bragging. Okay.
But it did rain today. It was nice.
It rained for like 10 minutes.
we had to withstand the rain today.
We had to shut the windows.
I wish it would have rained more.
I know, me too.
You got one for you?
Yeah, let me, as long as we're sticking with this blues motif, Let me do a couple of things. I'm wearing my Alice Howe shirt. Alice had these made for her birthday. And
Oh yeah, someone actually asked about it. You can still get them if you go to alicehowe.com and you go to the store page. I have just a few left, but I did notice that someone
and
asked
that's
about
exactly
that.
why I'm trying to support my partner here. I just
Thank
figured,
you.
look, it looks perfectly good. I know it's really small. You can hardly read it, but
I didn't know it was going to be that big.
if you like Alice, I mean, it'll do it. And, long sleeve. I like the fact they're long sleeve, very comfortable. I washed it. It didn't shrink, which is nice.
Thank you for plugging
And
my shirt.
I would like to, what's that?
I said that's a common question. It's like it doesn't shrink.
I know. You got to know. It's important.
Yeah. I mean, of course, I was careful not to dry it on high, but I did put it in a dryer on low,
Glad it
and
survived.
perfectly fine.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
And your birthday is coming up
My
pretty
birthday
soon,
is
right,
coming up.
Freebo?
I'm doing a birthday show on Friday, this Friday, 2 days from now, and I'm going to be launching my Patreon page, which we're talking about
Great.
Rogo, and Alice has one, and a lot of people have pushed me to do this. I finally succeeded in doing it. And it's interesting with Patreon, there's a lot of different levels, and the way people work it is you get more prizes depending on how much more money you give. I took the socialist perspective, and I said, you know what? No matter what level you give at, whether it be $3 or $5 or 10 or 20 or 100, I'm going to give the same things away. And support me as you feel. If whatever it is, you can have free copy of my book when it's done. I'll give you excerpts, old musical gems, new ones, all sorts of stuff. And I'm really excited about that. I've got some great guests. Besides Alice, I've got a couple of 70s. I'm going to be in my 70s, and I have several other people who are in their 70s. And we want to show you that life's not over when you get to that place, that you can, in fact, be still creative and vital, and in many cases better than ever. I feel like I'm better than ever. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I'm going with it while it is. So Chris Smither is going to be with me, the great Chris Smithers, a wonderful blues player, songwriter, incredible musician, artist. I turned Alice on to him.
I'm
and
obsessed. Rogo, if you don't
she's
know
hooked.
Chris Smither, you would love him. Are you familiar with that name?
I don't know who that
I'll
is.
send you something to listen to. He's fantastic.
Chris is great.
You really like it.
And Jack Williams, and Rogo, you will be blown away by Jack's guitar playing. He's amazing.
too.
He's my favorite guy in the folk world. He's out of originally from South Carolina, now lives in Arkansas. He'd be one of my guests. And Harold Payne, you might not have heard of Harold Payne, but an amazing songwriter. Just to show, he has a song that was covered by both Peter, Paul, and Mary and Snoop Dogg. The same song was covered by both people.
I don't-
Also has a
that's
song
wild.
called Music Speaks Louder Than Words. Really cool song. Turns out that he shared with me the other day that song was played for the Queen of England at some point, which is kind of cool.
Wow.
So Harold's going to be here, a great friend. Harold is going to do an improv. Harold does improvs where you just come up with a couple ideas and he incorporates them into a song on the spot. So I'm very excited about the show.
When is it?
It's going to be Friday night, 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock
Where?
Eastern, on Facebook Live,
On your Facebook page.
on my Facebook page.
So be sure to
which-
like Freebo's fan
Freebo
page.
fan page. Go there and like
and
it.
his YouTube channel. It'll be on
And
there
my
as
YouTube
well.
channel, just search for Freebo Music. But I'd love to have you, and just going to play a bunch of stuff and reminisce and really
show.
quite excited about it. So hopefully it'll be entertaining and inspiring. So Rogo, this is a blues song that it's kind of like the same old chord, but instead of going to the 5 chord, I'm going to key it. Instead of going, I go to the minor 3 chord, G chord, and for a theme I chose a kind of a you might say a spiritual bent called My Personal GPS. I think it's self-explanatory. I'll take off my headphones so I can hear what the hell I'm doing. Ready, Alice?
Yep.
Key of E. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me tell you about my angel, the one you never see, my everyday companion living deep inside of me. She guides me through the trenches, she gets me out of every mess. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, she's my personal GPS. Well, she leads me on the journey, she leads me to the goal. She's always on the money, never leaves me in the cold. And every time I listen, I wind up being truly blessed. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, she's my personal GPS. To the bridge, A. I'm at the fork in the road, I gotta make a choice. So much going on, I don't heed her voice. So I make a wrong turn, I'm feeling lost and afraid. Then I hear my angel calling, recalculate. Well, I gotta pay attention, 'cause it's powerful stuff. I gotta turn it on, and I gotta turn it up. 'Cause every time I do it, you know I'm guaranteed success. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, she's my personal GPS. Playboy. Hey. Well, I'm floating lost and lonely, drifting in the dark. Will I ever find a harbor? I don't see it on the chart. Was something saying no, but someone else is whispering yes, yes, yes. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, she's my personal GPS. Yes, she is. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, crystal clear and never muddy. She's my Watson, she's my tunnel, never tardy, always pronto. She's my Sherpa, she's my guide, never runs and never hides. Truly awesome, she's the best. She's my personal GPS, my personal GPS, my personal GPS. Yeah, she my personal GPS. Yes, yes. Nice, Alice. You remembered it.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
very good.
I remembered it.
That was very good.
Oh my
There you
god.
go, Rogo.
You were killing it on the bass.
Oh, thank you.
So
The funny
good.
thanks. The funny story about that is that because Freebo started teaching me a few things on his bass, I'm now confused by a 4-string fretted bass, which is like
I love that. That's
bizarre.
a great spot to be. You know, it's like, yeah, that's great.
Makes me feel very like obscure. It's like playing the bassoon.
I love it.
Well, let's see. We've got about 15 more minutes. I just wanted to make sure everybody knows that we are doing the after party. So Rogo will be there. We're going to have a special guest appearance by a special secret surprise guest who's going to do a song as well. And we're going to just spend a little time chatting. If you guys are have long time been fans of Rogo on Norman's Rare Guitars, maybe this is your chance to come in the Zoom room and ask her a question about her music, and that'll be really fun. So we'll take a 10-minute intermission after the show, and then we'll come back and Zoom, and the meeting ID and password will be in the chat, so you guys can join, or you can keep watching where you are. So now what?
Well, I think we should have Rogo play another
I
song.
think so too.
What do you think?
Yes.
Are you going to play
You up for
a
one
different
more?
tuning, regular guitar, back with the national? Your choice.
Okay. I could play a Bessie Smith song
Ooh.
on a standard on standard tuning.
I'd love to hear another classic blues tune. I mean, I love your writing as well. I'm
Yeah.
loving being introduced to your writing
Want a
tonight.
Bessie Smith song.
Yeah, do it. I'd love that. Bring out another guitar.
Hey, cool pants.
I know,
Thank
right?
you. You know, it's funny. When the Zoom thing first started, like I didn't really wear pants, and then I realized I was like stood up once, and I was like, I'm not wearing pants.
I think maybe. Oh, yeah, well, that could be a little embarrassing. Did I see those? Did you wear those? Are they kind of bell bottoms?
I think I admire them at Norm's. They're,
Yeah,
yep.
I saw you wear them
Those
at
are
Norms. I
very
love
cool.
them. Took
Yep.
me right back to the '60s.
Yeah, totally.
Are they new or are they total throwbacks?
No, they're new. They're new. They're a throwback and very comfortable.
Cool.
Sound okay?
It sounds great.
I don't know. There's something honestly about playing blues on a nylon string that I really love. Like I love it, and I also love playing it on like janky old guitars as well, obviously. But when you play it right on the nylon, it just like it has a vibe. But anyway, I love Bessie Smith, and I love this song. It's called "You've Been a Good Old Wagon." And it's such a quintessential female blues song. You know, there's a lot of blues songs that are like, you know, I'm drunk and I just killed my wife, and I'm just like, I don't relate. I don't really drink, and I don't kill my wives and or beat them.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I love the women of the blues because they are so sassy. They are just so forward. And, you know, we listen to everything they say and they speak about and they sing about, and we're like, oh, yeah, that's cool. But back in the day, I mean, in the 40s and the 50s, I mean, 20s, 30s, 40s, I mean, for a woman to sing about sex or just like dissing men or the government, or like, that's big time, even for a woman
and not just like sex for, you know, but like from a woman's perspective also.
Yeah, and
that's
sometimes
so
and it's not as like as people think. Like there are some raunchy lyrics within Ma Rainey, Bessie Smith, Memphis Minnie. I mean, like, woo, like I'm even like I even blush, you know.
Yeah, no, it's
but
so
anyway,
true.
this is a great song. It's called "You've Been a Good Old Wagon Daddy, but you done broke down." So full of personality. Just kind of like Daddy, you done broke down.
Play it.
Look at here, Daddy. I want to tell you, please get out of my sight. I'm calling quits now, right from this very night. You had your day. Don't stand around and frown. You've been a good old wagon, Daddy, but you done broke down. That's right. You better go to the blacksmith shop and get yourself an overhaul, 'cause there ain't nothing about you to make a good woman for. Nobody wants a baby when a real man can be found. You've been a good old wagon, Daddy, but you done broke down. When the sun is shining, it's time to make some hay. Now, honey, I've seen mobiles operate, and you can't make that wagon pay. When you were in your prime, you used to run around. You've been a good old wagon, Daddy, but you done broke down. Now listen up, there's no need to cry and make one big show. This man has taught me more about loving than you will ever know. He's the king of loving, has manners of a crown. He's a good old wagon, Daddy, and he ain't broke down. Oh, yes,
Ah, so good.
That's
Rogo.
wonderful. Oh, what a
Great
great
choice.
song. Never heard that song
Me
before.
either.
That's great.
I learned it from
You really-
Annie. Annie sings
cool.
it very well.
Really?
Yep. Yeah.
You really made it your own, though. I really felt you. through
Oh,
it.
yeah,
That's
you're killing
really
it.
Cool. Yeah.
You ever hear Bonnie do any of the songs of Sippy Wallace that we recorded back in the day?
Oh, yeah. So good. So good.
Woman Be Wise
I
and
love early
Woman-
Bonnie. Oh my gosh.
Woman Be Wise, you got
That
to know
first
how.
record of hers, I always tell Freebo, like, I know it's like very wild, and I love hearing you talk about recording that first record because it's like, it sounds like you guys almost like didn't know what you were doing.
That's my favorite record of hers.
Me too.
Really?
With the tubas and like I'm like,
Totally agree.
this is my spirit animal. That record is like my spirit animal.
Oh, that's great.
I totally agree, Rogo. I just love it. It's that you guys sound like you're having so much crazy fun.
Well,
like,
we had fun, yeah. But what I'm really referring to is Bonnie's choice of Sippy Wallace, whom a lot of people weren't aware of, and a perfect example of a woman singing the blues from that really ballsy place of, hey,
Yeah.
you know, this is my perspective, which is where Bonnie was coming from, which is where you're coming from,
Yeah.
you know, and a lot of people think Bonnie was a pioneer in that.
Yes, lots of fun.
Obviously, Sippy, you know, and the people you're talking about, they were the real pioneers. So it's great to be able to carry on a tradition. And man, you're killing it. I mean, you're just singing it great, you're playing it great, and talk about feeling from the head into the body. You're feeling it, Rogo.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff.
Thanks so much. You guys are
Oh,
so
yeah,
agree.
I mean, coming
absolutely.
from you guys, great musicians. I mean, inside and out, and not just musicians, but artists. You know.
Thanks.
Thank you.
you.
Well,
It's
that's why we
really
call
nice
it
to have-
Inside Live.
Well, we like to go deep here in this
We do.
little show, and we like to introduce people to new artists. I know a lot of folks are saying they're so happy to have heard of you tonight, and I hope they'll look you up and follow you as well. And it's just so nice to have this exchange of ideas and music, and you know, to feel like I'm surrounded by people who I can continuously learn from is a really
Absolutely.
good feeling.
Absolutely. Like when you stop learning, you're dead. So to
That's
speak.
it.
You know,
Yeah.
it's and I agree. I always think surround yourself with the people who inspire you, who you can learn from. And the minute that you think you can't learn anything new, I don't want to hang around you.
No.
Like
I know. So true. Yeah. So I think it's time to take a quick break. I just want to announce the winner. The winner.
And we also have to put
giveaway.
we have to put the
It's already there.
the Zoom
Yeah.
link is in there.
Please.
Just
Brandon
before you announce that
what?
winner, if I may, just for those of you who are on the chat and who are watching and listening, please do join us on the Zoom.
Yeah.
Find a way to get into that chat. Fortunately, we can't. I guess we can't say it, but check it out and come join us. And we'd love to see you, where we actually get to see you, and you can ask us questions. And we get to
Freebo will
know
be
each other.
dancing for you.
He'll be doing
don't know
special
about
dance
that.
moves. Yeah.
But what I
things you
do,
don't see
what I
during
was
the
going to
usual
say,
show.
it's really nice watching the chat and the community
Yeah.
that y'all have helped us create, and the way you talk to each other and get to know each other is really cool, and all of the back and forth. So we see a lot of the comments. We haven't answered them all, but we really appreciate what you guys are saying, and you've said some wonderful stuff about us and about Rogo, and we're really grateful that you watch every Wednesday. So, and Rogo, thank you so much for
Yeah,
being. This
you're
was a
amazing.
gas. This was
Thank
great.
you guys, and yeah, I'm excited for the after party. Come on, ask questions. I'm looking forward to that too, and
Great.
just just a reminder that this is just something so beautiful and uplifting. And yeah, we're inside, and the world is kind of a strange place. Like, what exactly is going on? But
Yeah.
stuff like this can lift us up, and we can lift each other up. So just continue to be good people. Even if the
Yes.
world is hard, and
Oh yeah.
Could not agree
keep
more.
listening to Alice and Freebo and sign up
And
for
Rogo.
Patreons. So,
Take lessons from Rogo if you wanna be schooled on guitar, but also get down to what's holding you back from being the musician that you can be. I think that's what you're really amazing.
And
at, Rogo.
the world's always been
Yeah.
hard in different centuries. I
Exactly.
mean, Alice knows. I mean, she's a student of European medieval history.
Oh, please, let's not get into
But
that.
it always has, and we're going through some tough times. But as everybody says, music helps pull a lot of people through. We're really helpful to be able to make that and create that. And the fact that if there's
We're
anything
lucky.
that we can do that helps lift you up, or maybe even take you down to that place where you're really feeling it and you feel like you have somebody who's written something that's empathetic, about where you're going, and place of compassion. So we thank you all.
Yes. All right. We'll see you all in about 10 minutes. Rogo, we'll meet you back here.
But
Okay.
first,
Wait. Oh, the giveaway.
Why'd
you get me off that?
Oh, yeah.
I was like so close to
But
saying
wait,
it.
there's more.
Rogo's number was 7, and the closest person was our friend Nick Bruni. Nick, I believe you were watching on my YouTube channel. Nick, I hope you're still watching. Nick Bruni guessed number 6. He read Rogo's mind.
Pretty damn close.
So, Nick, if you want to just please go to alicehowe.com/contact and send me a message there. I will write back to you, and I will get you the info to get you your cable. So congratulations. And
the after party, I'll show you all some more of my guitar. So come
Oh,
on,
great.
yeah,
Great.
hang
with us.
Okay, sounds good. We'll see everybody in a few minutes. Thanks, Rogo. See you in a sec. How do I do this? There we go.
Every night I have the strangest dream. All these ghosts are talking to me. Lay down in my bed and I can hardly sleep. These homeland blues have got a hold of me. Well, I went over to my cousin's house to see if we couldn't figure it out. He said it's plain to see you got them homeland blues. What hope have I got if what you're saying is true? And I got them homeland blues. Don't you know I got them homeland blues? Said I got them homeland blues. Honey, pull over, I got them homeland blues. The sooner I book my ticket, the sooner I'll come running back to you. Well, I asked my mother, do you know what I mean? And she could hardly look up at me. Eyes to her paper and I knew she had them too. Eyes on her coffee and I knew she had them too. Have you ever missed something that you never even had? You're down so low and you feel so bad. That's when you know you got them homeland blues. That's when you know that you got them homeland blues. And I got them homeland blues. Try to tell you I got them homeland blues. Said I got them homeland blues. Honey, pull over, I got them homeland blues. The sooner I book my ticket, the sooner I'll come running back to you. Distracted from the night we had, sat down on the curb, nursing my homeland blues. Down on the curb and I'm nursing my homeland blues. My American soul gets lonely sometimes. I take a walk and it clears my mind, and I hold you tight to shake my homeland blues. Hold on tight just to shake my homeland blues. Then I got them homeland blues. Don't you know I got them homeland blues? Said I got them homeland blues. Try to tell you I got them homeland blues. Is where I left it, the sooner I'll come running back to you.
Would go to my new little four-legged friend. Now she loves my dog more than me. She loves my dog more than me. I love my dog and she loves my dog, but she loves my dog more than me. Burning with desire, when suddenly to my chagrin, as the fire got to stoking, came a cold nose a poking somewhere it should not have been. I thought she'd shoo him away, but she told him to stay. It kinda took me out of the zone. Now a man's best friend gets a girl in the end, and I'm left holding the bone. She loves my dog more than me. She loves my dog more than me. I love my dog, and she loves my dog, but she loves my dog more than me. So I'm sitting here fuming while he's getting all the grooming. That ain't how me. Well, you know I don't hate him, but I got an ultimatum. Baby, it's the dog of me. Well, I got a reply as she let me outside, and she handed me my people chow. Now I'm howling at the moon while he's up in my room, and I'm in the doghouse now. 'Cause she loves my dog more than me. She loves my dog more than me. I love my dog, and she loves my dog, but she loves my dog more than me. Play it for me, Shane. Get down. You like that, Hepburn? There's a moral to the story. When you fall from the glory, you gotta do it gracefully. So I'm back in the bed with the dog at the head. We're a nuclear family, and I accept my fate. You know there's little debate, because this ain't no democracy. From the moment he came, it's been a doggone shame that she loves my dog more than me. Yes, she loves my dog more than me. She loves my dog more than me. I love my dog, and she loves my dog, but she loves my dog more than me. Everybody sing it. She loves my dog more than me. She loves my
We're back.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome.
I think what we're going to do for this is we're going to all pretty much stay muted unless we have a question, or I think after a song, if we have a couple more songs in store, so you can clap a little bit after the song, right, Brandon? Is that the plan?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, that is the plan.
Okay, cool. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. There's a nice group here. We got Storm, Maddie, David, two Davids, David W and David S, Janice.
And, Marty.
Hi, Mike.
Mike.
Our special surprise extra guest. And Jason, nice to see you again. And of course, Rogo, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm definitely going to be eating chocolate, so sorry, not sorry.
That's
What, got any
I
extra?
love that you got cozy for this. That's
I
good.
did. I was feeling cold.
So that's great. Does anybody who's here want to ask Rogo a question, or one of us? Anyone want to raise your hand?
Raise
and
your hand.
I'll look at you and I'll see you. Some of you don't have your cameras on, but Mike Smith has a question. Hey, Mike.
I just wanted to say I loved the show. That was great. I love that powerful blues stuff coming from a lady. It's a great combination. What made you decide to go down that particular path as a singer songwriter? Straight blues like that, and old school blues like that.
Me?
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. I mean, I'm getting a FaceTime. Decline. I don't know how to put my laptop on Do Not Disturb. I'm probably.
I know.
Try
I have
again.
that same thing.
Whatever.
But yes.
You know, it's interesting though, because I have a lot of different archetypes, if you will, and like I love to write songs. People don't realize that. I mean, I worked in Nashville as a songwriter, writing crappy country songs.
Wow, I didn't know
wrote
that.
Pop songs. I wrote pop songs. I mean, I can write. You just give me a topic, give me a melody. I can write it. And so as a songwriter, I mean, I really write anything, but where I connect with the most as like an artist is the blues. Yeah, so it's not really necessarily like a choice per se, but it was more of a just a natural thing. No, when I was signed with a label, labels will kind of tell you, oh, like, don't do just blues because you don't want to get fit into this box, or something.
Right.
And you know what, I'm like, okay, and I try like certain other things, and it just doesn't end up becoming you. And it's funny, I don't even consider myself a blues artist. I mean, I do play blues, but like I don't ever say like I'm a blues singer-songwriter. Like to me, like I don't even hold a candle to like the blues artists in my life or of the past. So I'm definitely like inspired by blues, but I'm also very inspired by like Middle Eastern music, Indian music, Irish music. And it just kind of happens to come out kind of bluesy. And with a lot of the stuff that I write about, I don't really write about like, you know, gushy love songs or this or that. Not that that's bad, but like it's very real, and I've had a lot of struggle in my life, and just as a lot of the blues people have. So
You killed it.
about
You
feeling
really
it.
did. That was
Yeah.
excellent stuff.
thank
And by
you.
the way, Sarah, this is Mike from Cordial Cables. So Mike is going to be sending you a cable, and he's going to hook you up. And I know that he's such a great supporter of independent artists, as is the company in general. So happy to make that connection. And
This is all
Mike is
I
going to do a song. I know you just
Yes.
get to hang out with musicians all day.
Don't
Want a
tell
piece of
anybody.
chocolate? Here, have a piece of chocolate. You need to get this sponsor. This actually is the best chocolate and the most expensive chocolate, like on human earth, but it's the best chocolate.
But what is it?
Oh my
Hold
God,
up,
it is.
hold
I
that up to
love
the
that
camera,
stuff.
would you?
Oh my gosh! If only they would.
Oh my
just...
God, seriously, it's Hugh. It is the best chocolate in
Wait,
the world. I
what
swear to
is
God.
it?
It's
What,
the
what, what
best.
is
I'll
it?
buy
I
it by
can't
the
see it.
case. It's Hugh, H-U.
You. It's very
I'm
expensive.
not joking. It's
But-
amazing.
Where
It's
do you
bougie
get it?
chocolate, but it's very natural. It's very
Where can one purchase
Whole Foods?
Hugh?
lay Whole Foods,
Le Whole
It is just
Yeah, Whole Foods has it.
yeah, if you're a chocolate fanatic.
Ooh, I will be looking for that.
Or you soon will be, apparently.
Buy
Yeah.
the chocolate.
Oh my god!
Is that Brandon saying that?
Yeah, that's me.
Buy
Sorry.
the chocolate. Hey, maybe we get a sponsorship and give it away. Wouldn't that be
Oh
cool?
my god! Let's call them.
Mm.
100%
My
of
niece-
artists love this chocolate.
My
Yes.
niece got me tomfoolery, and one of their selling points is that it's slave-free chocolate.
Yeah, I mean it is. There's coffee and chocolate. There's a lot of unfair labor, which is also something I'm very passionate about. Is like guitars, right? Like buying guitars and chocolate and things that have a good track record
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
humans, and the earth.
Yeah. Yeah. So important to buy fair trade and to research. I know that, I mean, particularly those things that we enjoy so much, coffee and chocolate, they come from the global south, and people don't make any profit off of them. And we actually worked with a company a couple months ago that we were giving away some coffee, and that was
Fair
their whole
trade.
thing was just being really clear about where it came from. It's so important. I know you've traveled a lot, right, Rogo? You've also you're a traveler. We didn't even get into that, but I know you've been all over the world, and
So this
you've
time
probably-
is really hard for me.
I know. So I know I saw some pictures of you on your Instagram when you were in, was it Costa Rica? I want to say.
Oh, Nicaragua. Yeah.
Okay, I was.
living there for a little bit.
Oh, cool.
Where in Nicaragua?
Playa Gigante. It's just like a tiny little fishing village on the coast. Yeah, it was beautiful.
And you're learning Español also.
Sí, poco a poco.
Y podemos practicar.
Yeah,
We can do a little exchange for maybe.
yeah,
I'll,
we should.
I mean,
we totally should.
I'm still a gringa speaking Spanish myself, but I have studied it for a long time. I would love to practice with you if you ever want to.
Sí. You should write a song
Not in front of everybody. Oh, I would love that. I'm actually working on something with a Spanish chorus. Maybe I could share that with you. See what you think about it. I've gotten just through the chorus so far, but
Hey, Rogo, Brandon, our moderator, had a question for you. Do you still play with Paul Rochelle?
I don't think it was from Brandon. He's just compiling the questions.
Oh, he's compiling. Well, somebody wants to know, and apparently he was a student of Son House and Reverend Gary Davis.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes, I do, but I live on the West Coast and he lives on the East Coast, and it's COVID times. But Paul and Annie is his wife and an amazing harmonica player. But they're like my musical mother and father. I Zoom with him every week, and he teaches me some more Delta blues, and talk to Annie on the phone often. And yeah, they're like my parents to me. So they're special people in my life.
It's nice that the teacher has a teacher. I love that.
Oh, always.
Yeah.
The teacher should always have a teacher.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Rogo, also someone was asking, what age did you start playing instruments? I know you said you started singing very young, and when did you start with sax and clarinet?
I started saxophone when I was like 10 maybe. And I jumped right into it, and I was really, really hardcore about it. Yeah, and then I played like the bassoon and all that stuff. But and then I started clarinet when I was guitar when I was 14. Yeah, just so I could, write songs, like like put music to my songs. And yeah, I got a little baby toy, basically a toy guitar for my 14th birthday, because I told my dad I wanted a guitar. And, he's very like, oh, are you just going to give it up after a month? So it was basically like a trial guitar, like, oh, here you go. Like, here's a guitar. And I learned how to play the guitar over the course of a summer. And I gave them like a little concert at the end of the summer. And then they're like, wow, you've really kept yourself busy and quiet with this. So we're totally going to get you a guitar and lessons. And it's like the best thing that, has ever happened to me. Yeah, my first teacher was like a folk head. So I learned Joni Mitchell. I learned the Beatles. I learned, So I'm really grateful for that particular teacher that I had.
Oh, cool. And somebody asked me a question, said, do you play round wound or flat wounds? On my old 63 precision bass, I have flat wounds. On this 5-string fretless, I actually have elixir strings, and I didn't think I'd ever do that. I use elixir on my guitar. I love them. People who like really bright strings probably wouldn't want to use elixir. On a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is the brightest, elixirs kind of start at a 9, somewhere between 8 and a 9, but they stay there, and they have that non-squeak thing. I really like it. Plus, I have a deal with them, so I get them for free, which is really, really nice. But at one point, they said, hey, would you like to try some bass strings? I went, well, what the heck? And I was very pleasantly surprised. And I've had these strings on my bass now for I bet 5-6 years. I mean, they're actually fraying. I've got some new ones that I keep thinking I'm going to put on, but these keep sounding good. So that's kind of where I'm at. And on my guitar, I use medium strings. I tune down the whole step, everything down the whole step. So I use 13 through 56. If I didn't tune down, they'd be pretty tight. It's great for bluegrass, a big sound, but this way I can get a big sound, but they're a little squirrely, a little easier to play. And for my voice, I have the option of starting a whole step down.
Wow.
So that's the answer to that
was
question.
Very thorough. I'm wondering what we should do. I know Mike is going to do a song for us. I want to hear Rogo play on another guitar of hers.
Well, why don't we
do first?
Why don't we have? I think we should have Mike play a song.
That's what I was thinking.
I think Mike should meet Nick Bruni, who's down there in the bottom
our
corner,
winner for
because Nick is the new winner of the Cordial Chord. So you guys get to meet each other. Say hi, hi, Nick.
Hello. Hey, folks. How you doing?
Hey, nice to meet you.
It's really an honor to be a part of all this. I got to tell you, I've admired you all from Philly for a long time, all through Norms. That's how all this got started, that I even know about you all. So I really feel honored. Trust me.
Oh, thank you,
that's
Nick.
excellent.
Thanks for coming on and saying hi too. We really appreciate your.
You make my Wednesdays.
Yay!
Well, I'm a Philly boy. I mean, upstate Pennsylvania, but I went to school at University of Pennsylvania in Swarthmore, and was in my first.
Oh wow!
At Edison Electric for 5 years, 66 to 71. So I spent my I spent my formative musical years in Philly. It's just a great musical town. I mean, all the stuff with Gamble and Huff, and there's so much R&B there.
Hall and Oates, you know it, yeah.
Hall and Oates,
big time. Really,
Blue-Eyed Soul, great stuff.
Yeah.
So,
it's funny you mentioned Swarthmore. I'm sorry. It's funny you mentioned Swarthmore. I still go back on those trails behind Swarthmore College with my sons, and we hike back to there. Yeah,
Cool.
you know, get inspired.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is.
No doubt. Yeah. Thanks for allowing me to be here.
Oh,
our
thank you
pleasure.
for joining us.
Yeah, you'll love your cable. We'll send that out to you real soon. Thanks, Nick. All right, Mike.
So, Mike, I can't wait to hear your song, man. I mean, I know you. So you've been wonderful in our association with Cordial, and thank you for asking me to write that piece on songwriting. It's going to come out in the pages very soon. Maybe you can tell the folks a little bit about that. But before you do that, I have no idea where your musicality is at. You know, I know you're
What's he
obviously a
gonna
very
do?
musical guy, so we're excited to hear what you have to offer here.
This is my very first time ever playing in front of anybody ever. So.
Oh, really?
No, just kidding.
Okay.
Well, thanks. I appreciate the opportunity to do this. I get to watch people play all the time. You know, that's pretty much my whole thing. And I took a little bit of time off after everything that happened right after NAMM. My last gig actually was February 8th of last year.
Where I met you.
Yeah, definitely so. So, finally my muse has reawakened, and it's almost like there was a dam that had a bunch of stuff built up behind it. So now I'm recording like crazy and sending tracks off and stuff. So,
that's great.
Yeah, but
hey, if you need any bass, let me know.
Okay, I will. I've been thinking about that. There's a couple of guys that I would really like to have play on some stuff.
Oh, Leland, some great players, but if I could be one of them, I'd be honored.
That Leland guy, he ain't got time for me.
Come on.
I get him on the phone and stuff once in a while, but those guys are busy. I'm constantly amazed at the amount of stuff that comes out of the group of artists that we have. We have 125 endorsing artists now, and it kind of just came in a giant tsunami of people loving our cables, and we really appreciate you guys. You've introduced us to so many cool people. I mean, you really have the group at Norms and everybody else, and we get to meet people like this all the time, and then we find them on Facebook or they find us or whatever, and now we have conversations going on with a bunch of them. So it's really cool.
That's great.
Happy to hear that.
Excellent.
That's that community that you guys are always talking about, and we love it. And again, don't tell anybody. They'll want my job. I really like it. I'm trying to figure out what song I wanted to do, and I was talking to Freebo about it today, and I have a really great new song, but it's so sad. I just couldn't go sad, so I stuck with one that's kind of like in what Rogo was doing, following, and what's gone on with us recently, and this one's called "Life Is a Dusty Road." Weary travelers, lend your ears. Rest your bones and ease your fears. You unforgiven, you misunderstood. Bear more burden than you ever thought you could. You're killing time while time is killing you. We all get stupid sometimes. Spill your guts while you swill the wine. Miss the meaning of the empty glass. Miss the garden for the blade of grass. And when the laughter dies, we all die alone. 'Cause life is a dusty road, and we never know which way to go. So gather up your courage, 'cause the ride rattles your bones. 'Cause life is a dusty road. Only the wounded can learn to heal. Only the hungry don't miss no meal. Blues and silence, the perfect songs. Notes on the wind carry us along. And sacred indeed is everything. a dusty road, and we never know which way to go. So gather up your courage, 'cause the ride rattles your bone, 'cause life is a dusty road. So cry the dust out of your eye. You know the road, she don't sympathize. Smile on through your gritty teeth, till the horizon meets your final sleep. Your silent song of life delivers you home, 'cause life is a dusty road, and we never know which way to go. So gather up your courage, 'cause the ride rattles your bone, 'cause life is a dusty road. So gather up your courage, 'cause the ride rattles your bone, 'cause life is a one-way, windy, dusty road. Life is a dusty road. Life is a dusty road.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
All right. Thanks,
Great.
Mike.
I love that line, or like, you're killing time, or is time killing you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
A lot of great lines.
I love the simplicity of it. You know, it's just it's simple song, simple message. You know, simple musically, but it hits home.
Yeah, yeah, you got a lot of those too. You got some dog songs that just tear my heart out, but they're so simple, you know. I mean, just some dog songs.
Yeah.
It's a dog song.
I know.
Thanks, you guys. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks, Mike.
I'm glad
Thanks
I got
for
to
sharing.
share. Yeah.
Glad you could be here. Thanks for all that you do for us, and happy to have you.
It's a mutual admiration society for sure. You know, when Pathways comes out in April, it's our new e-magazine. It's going to feature you guys. It's going to feature a lot of these things we do. Freebo has a songwriting article in there, a column that he's going to write. It'll come out every 2 months. It's going to have all kinds of cool stuff in it. So you'll see the sign-ups for it coming out here pretty soon. It'll be a premium online e-magazine with all kinds of fun stuff in it. So
Excellent.
you know,
That's great.
do all that
exciting.
stuff. Follow us and ping us and like us and subscribe. All that stuff.
How do they do that? How do they follow you?
You can find us. Best place is probably either on Facebook or Instagram or on CordialCablesUSA.com.
Yeah, and
Okay, so
Brandon's been putting that info in the
Oh,
chat,
great.
so we're
Okay.
good. Cool.
You guys are awesome. You ladies are awesome too.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Is it a question? A hand up to Storm. Storm has a hand up. Wants a high
Oh,
five.
yeah. Hey, Storm, what's up? What's your
I
question?
have
Hi,
a
Storm.
question for Freebo.
Uh-oh.
Is there going to be a Zoom part to your birthday party?
Yes, there is going to be a Zoom part, and I hope you'll be there.
We got to be able to sing you happy birthday in cacophony, you know.
So true.
I love that. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works as far as the technical. Do I hear hip happy?
Yeah,
It's horrendous and
It's
wonderful
awful.
at the
Exactly what
same
you're
time.
It's great, though. Yeah.
Will it be the same Zoom link?
Yeah, it actually will be.
Yeah, and I'll probably play Happy Birthday to myself on the tuba as well.
Oh, great.
Only because I can. So.
Excellent.
I'll bring the bassoon. So it's perfect.
Oh,
my
perfect.
God, tuba bassoon
God,
duet.
That would be.
If only we can get a hold of
killer.
Alice's bass clarinet, that would be too much.
Oh my God. That one never belonged to me. I borrowed it from my middle school.
They're
Yeah,
probably
same.
really
I know.
expensive.
I never owned it. Although I did have my great grandfather's clarinet, regular clarinet, because he, according to the story, played it in the Tsar's army in Russia before he immigrated to the United States.
Before the Tsar's army. Yeah.
Before he fled from the Tsar's army.
Just in time.
I want to just make sure we get to some of these great questions in the chat, particularly one for Rogo that was from Carolyn in the other chat. She asked, what was a song that you heard, a blues song that you listened to where you were just like, yes, that is for me. This if you can think of, or you mentioned some of the artists. I'm wondering if
Yeah, I love Blind Willie Johnson. Like his very, quintessential dark as the night, cold as the ground. Just like that haunting essence of like in between night and day and dark and light and happy and sad is just like, it's just so beautiful. I would say, oh man, there's just so many. I really like the full album by my mentor, Paul Rochelle. It's called Talking Guitar is the name of the album. You should check that out. It's just great. It has a lot of old country blues songs on it, and he does them really, really well. And it's in clear modern recording. Sometimes, in the past, it's when you dig into it and you can attune your ear to listen to all the scratchy, but so it's hard to listen to sometimes. But the new, Paul just recorded it a handful of years ago. So, that's
and
a
you've
great
also
album.
told me to listen to that Alone, an acoustic record.
That's what I was going to bring up. Okay, so
Yeah.
the first blues record that ever rocked my world, that I think I found it at the library. Grew up in the library basically. I was just kind of dropped off after school, or I just went when I had a car, and I just spent a lot of time. I grew up. My parents weren't very musical. They didn't really like music. They didn't listen to music. So I found all my music at the public library on CD. We had a huge CD section at the library. So I found everything from Arabic music to Irish music to blues music. And I picked out Buddy Guy and Junior Wells' Alone in Acoustic. And I listened to it, and I was just like, it's just Buddy Guy and Junior Wells, probably sitting in two creaky chairs, and you could tell like you could tell the record label knew they were like going to hang out, so they like put a microphone in between them. They're in the key of E the whole time. Buddy Guy's playing this like old rickety like 12 string, and he plays in the key of E in that lower position the whole album, but with different feels. And Junior's like kind of like improvising and like the whole time, and it's so good. And
They were good pals.
It made me realize that like, because then I would listen to other blues records, and it would be like, why don't I feel like this is corny? Like, why don't I feel this? They're playing the same notes technically, like they're playing the same scale or whatever, and the same even lyrics. Like, why does one sound so soulful and the other doesn't? So that was like the beginning of like my existential journey with like with like music in general. Like, what does it mean to be soulful? So that record in general, I would listen to that. I would, because when CD is in CD player in your car, you'd put it in and it would just spin. I would just repeat that album for like a year almost, and I wouldn't even listen to anything else in my car. So
I get.
But you know what, Rogo? I mean, to me, that kind of speaks to your soul, because a lot of people wouldn't hear. I'm not disparaging them. I'm kind of lifting you up, but a lot of people wouldn't hear the difference of the soulfulness and the genuineness, the organicness of Buddy and Junior playing, like with Sonny and Brownie. What they do. Apparently they hated each other after a while, but musically they're very soulful. And there's not that many people really, like Alice and I talk about all the time. You listen to American Idol and The Voice, and it's all about hitting the high notes and the riffs, and it's like, great technicians, incredible voices, but where's
I think me and Rogo came from another time.
You did. It really speaks to you.
We were brought here from another planet.
Yeah.
I think people are a lot more like soulful and spiritually evolved than they think. I think it's like the intention in which you listen from. Like if you're going to listen to American Idol or whatever, that's more of a show, more of a production, more of like kind of smoke and mirrors. But I think people, they might not know that they're hearing something deeper, but I think on a human level, like we can all tell, it's a primal instinct. If we can identify what is genuine, right? Whether you're a pop singer being very genuine, like I don't really sing pop, but my friend Courtney, she's an amazing pop artist, and that's her thing. Whereas if she went to go sing blues music, like she might do one or two songs that sound good, but it's not authentic to her. So I think people actually do, they might not realize it, but I think they are they do have those magnets for like authenticity and like soulfulness, but I think it's the lack of people just slowing down and actually listening.
Well,
I think
that's
that's
what
a
I was
really
going to
good-
say. I was going to say
Yeah.
it's really all about listening, because you were in the library as a kid. You were in a place where you really were hungry to get it. I think most of what people are receiving is what they call text talk. Everything is so quick, and pop
Yeah,
music
and
and
it's
the
what's on the radio
and
and-
it's not really close listening.
Well, I think you have to stop and think, what do I really like? And I think some don't stop and ask, do I really like this? Does this really speak to me? Or is this just what's out there? Like,
Right.
this is just what I'm hearing. And I agree. If exposed like to all that there is from every country of the world and all the art and music, I agree. There is a primal instinct. And like when people say, oh, I can't sing or I'm tone deaf, I'm like, I don't really believe that anybody can't sing. I feel like you just learn that, or you're told that you can't. And then,
Right.
but like little babies can like match tones.
Totally.
You know, so it's
so true.
Until they're told they can't, and then they give up.
Yeah.
We create our own limitations by what people tell us. So you can learn, you can sing, you can play the guitar. You're not too old. You're not too young. Like, you know, it's just a matter of the amount of time that you're going to put into something. So.
And I think people are hungering more, again, for political and social content. I mean, I'm on the steering committee and one of the founders of the People's Music Network for Songs of Freedom and Struggle.
I
And
know that
since we've
network. Yeah.
been online, we've grown from 135 members to over 500 members.
Wow, that's awesome.
And we're putting on, you know, all sorts of
great.
concerts and
Yeah.
song swaps and all sorts of things.
That's great.
Yeah. So,
Amazing.
Yeah, I've been peripherally involved every once in a while in that storm, and I've got a couple political songs that I don't perform very often because I found I'm either preaching to the choir or I'm pissing people off. And, you know, I've kind of tried, I've learned how to kind of state my point of view in a more neutral kind of way. But I would love to be more involved in that. So maybe we can be in touch about that.
absolutely. Yep.
Rogo, I saw you holding.
Peoplesmusic.org.
Yeah, put it in the chat, would you, Storm?
Yeah.
Also. Great. I
What were you gonna say,
saw
Alice?
you holding your blue guitar, Rogo. I was just hoping
this
you
is
could.
my other. I just wanted to show. This is my
Yeah,
other.
let's see that.
It's so beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a custom El Trovador from National Resophonic. The slotted headstock. It's
They made that for you?
It's, well, so they made it actually specifically for another great blues artist named Ben Powell, and then I bought it from him. He's a friend of mine. And they specifically made me the one that I was playing for the show.
Right.
Cool.
And this is mahogany, actually.
Oh wow. Is it
and-
lighter than the
Yes,
other one?
It's a lot lighter. It's mahogany.
Yeah.
This is a brass plate.
Is it as loud?
Pick up.
Oh, nice.
It's a little bit quieter, but it's still loud.
I
It's
just
pretty loud,
remember when
yeah.
I worked at a guitar shop in Seattle, I would, like, wasn't familiar with Nationals until I started working there, and I was like, oh my God, they're so heavy. Like, one was way up on the wall, and I just had to be like,
They're
okay, I'm gonna be so
heavy.
careful.
Like, I always joke around. I was like, I like to work for my tone, you know, like.
Yeah.
There, I mean, it's, I don't know. I don't even know how many pounds it is, but it's people like.
Do you
yeah,
ever stand up with it?
I do.
Okay.
Last weekend I did a 2-hour show. Not just with that, I had also very light guitar that I was switching on and off. But yeah, I stand up with it sometimes. But I'm young, so we'll cross.
Did you
the
do
bridge.
that? Did
when I
you do
come
that show in person or?
I did.
Zoom
It's
it?
at a hotel, an outdoor like open air place, hotel.
Where is that at?
In Huntington Beach.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So
And you felt safe doing it?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I was I was probably the safest one because I was, you know, in the corner and nobody was really like, you know.
Stay away from me.
That's great. Yeah. Would you do another original? Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah,
or-
sure. Yeah. Hopefully this stays in tune. I really need to set up. I need to go up to the National Factory.
That's in San Luis Obispo, right?
Yeah.
Also?
Yeah.
Cool.
I do work with people on building their custom nationals. So if anybody's interested,
Oh, sweet.
yeah.
I love that. That's so funny that Ernie Ball and National are both in San Luis Obispo. I'm so excited. I'm ordering my Music Man Electric.
Yes, that's awesome.
It's going to take a while, but can't wait.
So I'm also very inspired by ragtime music. Another mentor I had was Woody Mann, and he studied with Reverend Gary Davis. Yeah, it was cool. He would just go to Reverend Gary Davis's house with a big bottle of alcohol, and his wife would let him in, and Rev would be sitting there, and he would set down this big tape machine because he recorded all the lessons, and he showed them to me. It's crazy. It's so cool. And then gave him the bottle of booze, and he just like showed him things, and this blind guy just like this, like do it like this. No, not like that. Like this. Like no, like this. Like for for like 2 hours. But anyway, love ragtime. Again, as a songwriter, I begin to learn a song, and then I always end up writing a song instead of like learning the full thing. So I wrote the song based off Blind Lemon Jefferson tune, and then the interlude is an actual part right out of a Reverend Gary Davis song. It's called Best That You Can. If you wanna be my sugar, you gotta work on your sweet. If you wanna be my honeybee, you only need one, those two left feet. Ooh, to be my honeybee, quit buzzing in her ear. If you wanna be my man, you'll learn to understand that all I'm asking for is the best that you can. If you wanna cook me dinner, just no ham from a can, please. And if you have to get political, well, just don't get too Republican. Ooh, to sweep me off my feet, I'll take your strongest wine. If you wanna be my man, you learn to understand. Now all I'm asking for is the best that you can. Okay, we're gonna break it down with a little Reverend Gary Davis now. If you wanted, you could be mine, but it's okay if you're right only half of the time. If you just gave me your loving, I'd be satisfied. If you want a race, calm my heart, you gotta ease off those brakes. If you wanna be my lucky charm, take a chance and make mistakes. Ooh, to be my hot and steamy, well, don't be cold as ice. If you want to be my man, you got to understand that all I'm asking for is the best that you can. That's right, I said that. Well, if you want to be my man, you learn to understand that all I'm asking for is the best that you can. Thank you.
I'm good, Rogo.
Love it.
Oh, that's great. What a great style, too.
Really great. It reminded me a little bit, too, of this song I love. Big Bill Brunzi does a version of That's the Glory of Love. Have you heard that?
That's the glory.
That's the glory of
That's
love.
the story of
Oh,
love.
okay, yeah. I love
so-
Big Bill. He had such a good
just-
feel on the guitar.
The style was
great
really
feel.
reminiscent. I just love that. It sounded so good.
I have a question, if I might.
Oh, yes. Hi, Thomas.
Hi,
Yes,
hi,
hi.
everybody. Thank
Hi.
you again for the great show. And Rogo, nice to get to know you. I'll be researching you afterwards. Thank
Oh
you.
God.
So, all right, so here's my question. I am starting a project for some other thing, and I'm going to make some custom guitar picks for a promotion. I don't know anything about guitar picks. Is there anything you want to share with me? You know, can someone give me some insight? Go ahead, Rogo.
Okay, guitar picks for me. Don't make them too flimsy.
I was
You gotta
gonna
make them
say
hard. I hear the accent, so I'm gonna speak your language. You gotta make them hard, not flimsy.
Hi. Hi.
Well, and for me, not too hard. I mean,
Me
somewhere
too.
between. I like medium,
No,
between
not too
hard
hard.
and flimsy.
like
Not
right
too
in the
hard.
middle.
Not too hard, but hard
Not
enough.
too hot.
Hard enough is
But
really
seriously,
important.
I think a medium, get a medium, because if they're too
Yes.
flimsy, I just I can't do it. But like
Yeah.
Freebo said, so yeah, a medium pick as this Maddie K USA's, yeah. But that, I
Totally
mean,
agree.
that's the only thing that I have to say. I don't know you guys.
I totally agree. I was gonna say, you know, usually you see like light, medium, had, but you can. I just go somewhere in the middle. I think
Middle,
that's
yeah.
safe. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And is there any material that's off limits, or is everything? Is there a specific material?
Hey,
No
you-
endangered like tortoise shell.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
don't want to
kidding.
use diamonds.
No diamonds.
Stay away from from heavy metal.
Okay, we're just being jerks now. I think plastic is
I
the norm.
use Herco. I think they're 50s or 60s.
Those are really
I
nice.
love
You
these
know-
'cause
you know,
they
if
don't
you
fall.
have-
They don't fall out of my hands.
If you have the money, like there are some guitar picks that are like super slick, and then there's some that has like a little bit of like a soft grip to it. Not like
Yes.
grip, but like it's like a like
Extra?
soft grip.
That's what he
I
has.
kinda like that.
It's called
I
Herco
like it
Flex
too.
50s. It's just nylon, made out of nylon.
Yeah, and it has like a little, like a scratchy part, and it's actually really nice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like serrated. It's
I use
really
a thumb
feels-
pick, so I'm not a good the knowledge.
I don't use them really either, but
Yeah, but when I
know that-
do,
Yeah.
it's like medium. Yeah.
yeah.
Tell me, would this be totally out of the question? And you're welcome to die laughing if because I'm not a musician. Okay, but could I combine leather on one side with plastic on the other side, or do you use both sides? Would that be an issue in using now?
I don't think that would even.
You wouldn't want to go all the way to the end of the pick. I mean, the
feel like
the
that
part
wouldn't
that
even
hits the guitar
happen.
has to be the same
Because
material.
Oh,
people do pick up.
But you could. All right, but I might be able to do like it on half. Okay, thank you.
The part that you hold would be interesting to have, say, leather, and then
Yeah, the
have the
thumb.
pick in the other part. I mean,
That sounds
it'd be
very
unusual, but it sounds very
deluxe.
comfortable. Actually,
But yeah, you want the part that touches the strings to be the same on both sides.
yeah.
And do they come in different sizes?
They do. Bluegrass people that do there's like mandolin picks, there's like jazz guitar picks that are really teeny tiny. There's, really stylistic different types. But I would say for regular like guitar picks, there's pretty much a standard size.
Thank you very much. This is a great thing. It's funny. This just came up today. And honestly, I would have went to Sam Ash, but I don't think they're open or somewhere, right? And I'm like, oh my God, Alice and Freebo are on tonight. I can ask.
I love it.
Marty, were you going to say something? Are you showing us some pics at some point there? Can't hear you. You need to unmute.
I can hear you, Maddie.
Can you, there you
Hey,
go.
Maddie.
You're up
Maddie.
now. Maddie.
Maddie K USA, that's me, I guess.
Hey.
Nice to
Oh,
see
I have
you.
all. And nice to see you all as well.
Yeah.
I have to tell you that I am a big fan of everybody that I'm looking at right now.
Aw.
It's so wonderful to watch you all. Alice Freebo. Freebo, I can't even tell you. As an older fellow myself, I've watched your career for a very, very long time. And Rogo, I have to say that I am, I think I can say this as an old guy. I'm absolutely smitten. You are just an absolutely incredible performer. Anyway, yeah. So
I am an old guy, by the way. Just letting you know. No,
you're an old guy? Yeah, you're an old guy.
Thank you.
So I don't know. Yeah. So when it comes to picks, Yeah, so many different kinds: tortoiseshell, nylon, uh, and our old friend the green tortoise, so wonderful. Um, uh, Speaking as someone who's only been playing for about 45 years, and I like to call myself a beginning guitarist who's been playing for 45 years. From a pick perspective, it would be very interesting to have something that would have a little bit of a soft feel around the grip. There's a lot of interesting things that come into play with that, though, because some folks like to actually flip it over, like to play from a little bit of the blunt part. So how that might work would be very interesting. But maybe something with a bit of a flex like this that could be placed and bonded to a pick like this might be a very interesting thing indeed for some of us.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I was thinking of some sort of multi-texture.
Just a thought.
Yeah, thank you very, very much, Maddie K, and everybody. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and just a heads up for you guys, my friends. I have about 10 minutes until
So do we.
until I got a book.
Yeah.
I actually go to church super late at night. So
That's right. I forgot that you. Yes, you said 7:30, and here we are. It's 7:23.
It's 7:40 the latest.
Did you say you go to church late at night?
It's late? Yeah.
Interesting. Where?
Is,
What?
is God still awake this late?
Yeah, he really loves to party at this time of night. So
Good answer.
Well, that's great. Well, you guys, maybe we'll just say, does anyone have one more question that's burning desire to ask? Anybody?
I have one before somebody else does. There was a question on there I'd like to pose to you. It was that, Alice, it seems like most of the people in the chats and shows are older, twice as old as you.
Oh, yeah.
And what are your what's your feeling about that? And do you ever long to play for younger audiences? And please share that.
Maybe Rogo can weigh in on this too. But
talk to that as well.
Yeah, I saw that question, and it's true. It's something I do think about, Vincent. Thank you for asking. I feel like, just to generalize, it seems as though the generations above me are have a really nice association from back in the day with me and my music. I remind them, I think, of something that is from the 60s or 70s, and just in my style and the way I present myself. And I take that as a huge compliment, because that's the music that I love. So I think I'd like to have it both ways in a perfect world. Of course, I want to play for my peers and play at, venues where more younger folks come out. I think there's folk clubs and different acoustic music series, house concert series that I love playing for. People are so appreciative. I love my older fans. And a lot of times they have more money too, so they can buy my CDs, and they appreciate me. And I love that. They can sign up for my Patreon. They have disposable income. That is amazing. And then on the other side, I think I'm trying to actively reach, more of my peers, because I know that they would enjoy my music, and I'm sure Rogo feels this too. They just don't hear it, because as much there's just so much out there. There's so much. So many people releasing music all the time. We're doing this mostly ourselves with some help, so it's a lot of work. But I think we'll get there, and hopefully as time goes by, I hope to play at more events like Americana Fest, which is moving more into that younger crowd more than folk. I feel like folk has this association of being older, even though there's plenty of young people that listen to folk music. So I don't know. It's an ongoing thing.
What are your thoughts on that, Rogo?
I totally agree with basically everything. It's to me, a person is a person. I have one of my best friend in the world is my mentor, in his late 60s. He's my best friend. And then my other best friend is 17 years old. Right. So it's it doesn't, and age is not really a thing, because it's I don't even know. When people ask me how old I am, I have to think about it. I'm
yeah.
earthly dimension, I do not know. So it's just like if you an ears are ears, a heart is a heart. It doesn't really matter, honestly. Like and there are people. It's hard though, being in your late 20s and early 30s. Like you do when younger people like aren't catching on. You do kind of sometimes feel like you're not a part of like society, or like the cool kids club, or like you're not good enough, or you're not cool enough, which I mean that's an illusion. That's totally an illusion. But
I feel that it's like there's a lack of that like feeling of being trendy or something, and it's like, oh,
here's the
God.
thing. The people my age who do follow me and who do love my music, they're like my soulmates. Like
totally.
As you probably say, both of you probably think like you'd rather play to an audience of 100 loyal listening people than a million people who just like you're just like disposable. Like there's gonna be another Justin Bieber, there's gonna be another Taylor. Well, no, Taylor Swift is actually a great artist in general, but like there's gonna be another XYZ, but there's not gonna be another Alice Howe or Freebo or Rogo
or Rogo. Yeah.
So but I do. It is hard. I mean, it is hard sometimes because you feel like you want to fit in, and you feel like But I think this music, the things that are worth like really loving in life are the things that are not shiny and flashy and standing out. So the things that people have to find for themselves. And I think our people are coming, our time is coming, and we just have to be patient and just trust that people will find the music.
Whoever thought sea shanties would be cool.
I love a good sea shanty.
And it's exploding, and people who go into sing their sea shanties are going to hear more Americana and folk, and start looking at some of the places that we love so much.
Yeah,
I love that what you said, Sarah. That's great, and I agree. I mean, Freebo's one of my best friends, and he's having his septuagenarian birthday party this Friday, and I just feel like it's the variety of ages and experiences in my life.
Respecting your elders. I mean, I've always respect my elders and learn from them, and that if I'm if it's one of my fans, I still respect. I respect them as a teacher, as just somebody who's been in this world for longer than me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, well said.
Excellent.
That's a great note to end on. I think that's beautiful, and it's just about time to go for Rogo. So
it is. Well, and before you go, I hope you all join me for my birthday party on Friday, 5 o'clock Pacific. Facebook, my page, Freebo fan page, and it would be great to see you there. It's going to be special. At least for me, it's going to be special. Hopefully for you.
Thanks for coming, you guys. Oh, yeah.
Can I
Vincent.
ask you one quick practical question about Patreon?
Yeah.
Practical.
Yeah, very practical.
Oh, sure.
I've got a gift card, which I use. With Patreon, is there a way to say, like, I want to pay $3 a month, but pay $36 all at once?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, you can pay annually, and actually mine and maybe Rogo's too. I have it set up. You can pay annually, and you actually get a 10% discount if you pay for the whole year. So
okay,
it's really cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
And for those of you more interested in slide guitar, tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Pacific time, I'm doing like a little slide Q&A, very similar to this on Zoom. It's not broadcasted, but this exact same setup, talking about slide, answering questions, giving a little lesson. And it's free for my subscribers, and it's $15 for the public. So
what a good
and do
great
you do
deal.
online concerts beyond?
Oh yeah,
by
I'm
yourself?
gonna start doing absolutely. And so just keep in touch with my social medias and join my email list as well.
Yes,
if you're just go to my website and just click around my website.
Great. Yeah. Thank you, Rogo. Oh, Vincent asked me one more thing.
Yeah.
Yes, I am doing. He always reminds me to mention my own things that I forget. I'm doing a little private show for my patrons tomorrow night, just as a little plug to get you guys to check it out. I'm going to do an hour of Joan Baez songs, like old English ballads and stuff. I love doing songs like that. I don't really perform them that much. So that's actually tomorrow evening. It's going to be a Zoom call. So if you're interested in hearing me do like themed nights, I'm going to do a Sam Cooke night. I'm going to do a Bob Dylan night. I'm going to do different stuff like that. So check out my Patreon if you're interested in hearing more from me, that's tomorrow evening. So
Oh, that's cool, Alice.
yeah, I love singing, so what the heck. I'll just do as much as possible because I can do it from my bedroom now because I don't have to go anywhere. So may as well just keep it coming.
Chocolate, have, an abundance of
I can
chocolate.
eat chocolate and just hang out in my cozy bell bottoms. They're not as cool as yours, but all right, y'all.
Hey, thank you all for joining us. Really,
Thank
really
you,
appreciate it,
Rogo.
especially for going the extra mile on a Zoom
Thank you,
call.
Mike
And
Smith.
Rogo, can't thank you
you.
enough. Mike, thank you, buddy.
This has
Love you
been
guys.
Really enjoyed
wonderful.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you,
for everything.
Brandon.
Best thing to happen on a Wednesday for sure, right?
Getting through hump day together.
Thank you.
That's
Yes.
right.
Thanks.
All right, everybody.
All right,
And
thank you
Take care,
guys.
Thank you so much.
thanks for your donations, everybody.
Bye,
Thanks
everybody.
for being here.
Bye.
See you later.